So here we go for race number 2, and the front row of the grid. We've got James Blake Baldwin with Tom Roach, Brett Smith and Alan Henderson, Ed Gay and Alex Preston, and look at the size of the field we've got here. Simon Baldwin, Simon Goddard. We never saw much of Simon Goddard in that last race actually, or Simon Baldwin I should say. Gary Hufford, Charlie Charman had a very quiet race as well in 11th place. Will Blackwell Chambers, he was using a lot of the track limits, wasn't he? And we did see quite a few of the driver warning flags coming out. Further down, Sam Smith, a winner from Cardwell Park, all the way down in 19th place here. So can we see Sam Smith coming through the field, such as Simon Woods in 24th. John Coburn-Evans and Tony Liversidge, with Yuri Harlek and Martin Tolley rounding out the full grid. Look at that grid of MX-5s right the way back down the centre straight. Here we go. It's all or nothing. It's a good start from everybody. Thankfully, this time there's no contact as everybody heads down towards the first corner in this beautiful weather here at Snetterton. As Jake did say, yes, the wind has picked up a bit, but it's still absolutely crystal clear and nice and warm as the cars make their way through that first corner and head towards the Montreal hairpin. A little bit of bumping and boring on board with Alan Henderson now. That's a nice bit of braking from Henderson as he almost gets goaded into the corner just that little bit too much, but manages to get through and get a good exit from the corner. Looks like Brett Smith is just alongside us. He has a little look towards Brett Smith there, but Brett Smith can see Henderson coming there in the number 90 car, the red car with the black top. Further back down, there you go once again. More dust getting kicked up into the face of all these drivers. Pretty sure the stewards would have had a bit of a bulletin going out towards them, reminding the drivers about the track limits and where the drivers can drive and where is the stewards. And running wide again. Oh, somebody getting all crossed up and out of shape, and there's a couple of bits of contact further down deep in the field there, and that was just lucky that nobody actually come to grief there. Again, it's actually getting difficult to pick up the cars now, such as the amount of dust. But this is Ed Gay. One thing we can tell you, Ed Gay coming round Simon Goddard, I believe, just ahead of us just now. Yes, it is in the Blink Motorsport number 46 car, and he's got Preston just ahead of him as they lead onto the Bentley Straight. For the first time of asking in this race, further back down the field, Sam Smith, one of the cars, number 31 there in Scream. As I said earlier on, a winner from Cardwell Park, so good to see Sam back on TV, but rather out of position, quite far down. Meanwhile, at the front, here we go. Towards the bomb hole, we have got James Blake Baldwin leading Tom Roach, Brett Smith and then Alan Henderson. Through the cars all go. Now, is this going to be the same as the first race? As Brett Smith has a little bit of Brett Smith got a little bit out of shape, that should we say, towards corner, not a place we want to start losing the car. Is this going to be another demonstration from James Blake Baldwin? Are we going to see him absolutely disappear? Or is he going to manage to keep in? Tom Roach going to keep in with them. The rest of these guys all see that blue car at the front stretching his legs and pulling away up the centre straight, and there's nothing worse when you're a race driver at the end of one lap and somebody's got that much of a lead over you. You can see the dust cloud hanging in the air, something of the Paris-Dakar rally in the background there. Through the first corner the MX-5s go. These guys driving them absolutely on the ragged edge, on the limits. Henderson comes flying into view there, as does everybody else actually, not just Alan Henderson. Looks like Simon Woods having a look down the inside there. That was Woody. Simon Goddard. Now we go back on board with Ed Gay, and he has still got a bit of Simon Goddard right in front of him, who's got Alex Preston in front of him. So Goddard's made a good effort in the second race here. He's managed to get right towards the front. Lovely bit of four-wheel drifting there by Ed Gay in the white number 14 car. Quick check the mirrors again. They're behind you just now. I think you're okay, to tell you the truth. A little bit overtaken. That looks once again like number 48, if I'm not mistaken, and that will be our lovable friend further down the field. That'll be Simon Baldwin as well. But through, following the cars as they come up towards Hamilton, again more dust getting kicked up in the air. Alex Preston in the yellow car. We saw Alex getting a little bit frustrated with himself in the last race. He come out of the last corner and the hands come off the steering wheel, and it was almost a case of he almost gave himself a shake inside the car, grabbed himself by the lapels, gave himself a shake, and then managed to march his way back towards the front of that battle. So Alex Preston, very impressive young driver in that yellow car. But look at this, he's got Goddard homing in on him down the Bentley Straight. You pick quite a big slipstream up in these Mazda MX-5s. One man not with any slipstream is James Blake Baldwin. He doesn't need anybody to tow him down that back straight. Such is the speed of that number 2 car. And through they come. Number 2 leads number 1. We heard from Brett Smith. These guys finished first and second in the championship last year. And he was delighted to be on the podium with those guys, to join them on the podium. Oh, Ed Gay runs very wide there. He's trying to get round to Simon Goddard. So we're looking at Simon now. Not really much of an overtaking place into the last corner if the man in front of you is pretty switched on. Then again, you never know, anything's possible in an MX-5 race. As Alan Henderson streaks up the centre straight, he's got just behind him Alex Preston and Brett Smith in front of him. These guys all really closing in. Henderson looks like he's getting a bit of a draft there. Looks like he was getting the position as they come in towards the first corner. Can he go round the outside the long way? This is a big manoeuvre if he can pull this off. And if he doesn't pull off, he's going to lose a position by the time they get towards the Montreal hairpin, because Preston's on the inside. Goddard runs wide. Gay wants a little bit of this as well. And Alan Henderson really has compromised himself there. He's put himself on the wrong side of the track. And has young Alex Preston got through? Preston was a little bit sideways at the apex of the corner trying to get on the power, but Henderson looks like he's managed to get away with this one. He's on the inside as they come up towards Palmer, this next left-hander. And yes, Henderson manages to hold off the advancing Alex Preston, but that was a little bit tense for Alan Henderson there. Meanwhile, he's going to be under all sorts of pressure again as they come into Agostini's. Alex Preston goes up the inside of not 1 but 2. He goes past Henderson and Smith. And look at Goddard on the inside. And look at Ed Gay. And what is Alan Henderson's had an absolute nightmare. He's dropped 4 positions at that one corner. And that will not make that man smile one little bit, you can guarantee that, as they're getting a little bit carried away with themselves now as Alex Preston gets no room from anybody there. And there's contact as they come in towards Oggies there. Ed Gay getting rubbed up the wrong way. So this will soon sort itself out on the back straight, we would imagine. Through they come. That was a very interesting midsection there, I must say. Down the back straight we come. Braking for the bridge, underneath the bridge. It looks like Ed Gay's going to run in hot there with that little bit of contact, and it has. It's made a run on how that was a bit of a mistake there. That little bit side-to-side contact on the way and just unravelled Ed Gay. He's not happy. In fact, no, he's letting the guys past because he has came to the there. Too busy watching the TV screen there, and that little bit of contact just set him off as he went underneath the bridge. So poor old Ed Gay won't be very happy with that one. Round we come. In the middle as well, in the mix now, Simon Baldwin's got himself right up towards the sharp end again as we go on board with Alan Henderson. Now, Alan will be wondering what happened on that last lap. He started it in about 4th place, 3rd place, and he finds himself down in 7th or 8th now, so that was a bit of a disastrous mid-corner, mid-section of the track. There's a driver warning flag comes out. Now, I wonder if that board just had the whole field underneath it. Is a bit more contact. Simon Goddard trying to put the muscle in an Ed Gay there, and a little bit not really needed that, to tell the truth. They're on the way towards Riches. Simon Goddard just trying to flex his muscles and possibly intimidate Ed Gay. And Ed Gay having absolutely none of it as they're all together. Look at Ed Gay completely sideways on the outside line there, and he's going nowhere. And Alan Henderson thinks brilliant. A little bit of a chuckle to himself after having a bad last lap. He's made up for it this time. Up towards Palmer. Brett Smith getting away. We've got a waved yellow flag actually in the background there as well. So that corner we lost somebody as well. Ed Gay, oh dear Ed, you just need to count to 10 in that car. Count to 2 and you're going to have Alex Preston past you, so you're going to really have to watch what you do. Just needs to get that back under control and calm down. And Charlie Charman has joined the party now as well. So Charlie Charman in the number 42 car did say that he was having quite a quiet first race. He's got himself back up into 9th position as we stand. Mid-race point, things just starting to get that little bit excitable, or everybody getting that little bit excitable in the race here as we're back on board with Henderson. Quickly looking at Goddard though. Goddard really was aggressive at the start of this lap. A bit of a go at Ed Gay at the first corner, and now Goddard's at the front and Gay's at the back, so that must have worked, that little bit of aggressive tactics. What will the stewards think of that though, as Simon Baldwin pops out from behind them? and Simon Baldwin takes the position. Good move from the number 48 car for Simon Baldwin, and he has come through the pack like the proverbial hot knife through butter. He's come all the way up, and he's managed to get in front of it now, missing a bit of a headlight there, possibly the headlamp into it. But his next man is Brett Smith. Can he get him? Interesting if he can, because Smith's a little bit up the road, and he's not really going to have to worry too much about looking in his mirrors to defend, just so he can still just drive the track. Having said that, when he sees the blue 48 car with the white stripes over the bonnet homing in, he's going to start looking in his mirrors. So behind Baldwin, we've got the number 46 car of Simon Goddard. Behind Simon Goddard, we have Alan Henderson homing in the number 90 car. And behind him, Alex Preston, still hanging about there, isn't he? Then Ed Gay, then Charlie Charman as they cross the line. Back to the first corner, seeing the cars flash through. Rhys Jenkins in the orange car, number 63. Just off the back of Charlie Charman, good to see Rhys Jenkins at the sharp end. And the rest of these guys all flashing through. That was Callum Edwards in number 1, 2, 3 there. Good to see Callum. Such a fast corner there as Michael Danson heads through as well. Such a fast corner. You really have to take a big deep intake of breath as you head in towards that corner, get through it, and then try and release the breath at the Montreal hairpin. More happenings in this Mazda MX-5 field as we come through the Montreal hairpin. The number 22 car right firmly in the middle of that. Chris Hart looking like he's sporting a little bit of damage on the side of his car as well, so let's see if we're going to find out exactly where that come from for Chris Hart. But the battling all the way down through his Hart pops back towards the inside. He's looking like he's having a shot there at Dunstan, and he's up the inside. Yes, good move. Sam Smith in the 31 pink car as well. Remember, Smithy won at Cadwell Park in those mixed conditions when we had the 6 race weekend. It really was a bit of an epic weekend at Cadwell Park, and Sam Smith took a win. But look at that, great run as they come up towards Oggies. And that's how you do an overtaking manoeuvre. A good run through Hamilton's. Hamilton's isn't exactly an overtaking place itself, but if you can get a run through it. Dunstan showing us just exactly how you overtake here cleanly at the Snetterton 300, and then not run wide and compromise your exit down the back straight. Having said that, he's going to get drafted for these two cars absolutely straight away. Hart goes one side, Smith goes the other side. We're now 3 wide down the back straight. This cannot be good. They've both managed to get past him, and that's just how quick and how much the draft actually affects things here. Now back up at the front of that battle, that's Gary Hufford in the red car. Oh, bit of screeching further back. Thankfully those 3 guys did make it through. The Hart battle with Sam Smith. But we could hear the screeching there, and when the camera quickly pans round like that, you do expect to see a Mazda MX-5 facing the wrong way. Somebody's doing a very long grip tracking moment towards Coram on the outside of the circuit. That won't do you any good whatsoever. You're going to have dirty tyres as you get back onto the circuit. And Hart's in all sorts of trouble there. Hart's in all sorts of trouble as they come in towards Murray's. He'd had a huge moment on the way in, and it looks like he was just trying to gather that one back up as he come through. But there's Hufford going up the inside of GJ Clements now. GJ Clements getting a face full of Huffy. The Huffmeister, you can see him just in front now. Can he have a go back in towards the Montreal hairpin? Clements thinks better off it. He turns in. Thankfully nobody arrives into his door at his side. A little bit aggressive on the throttle there. It looks good, it feels great, but it's slow as you leave the corner. You can see Huffy just pulls away that little bit on the exit of the corner. If you're going sideways, you're not going forward, and we have said that in previous shows. Clements again using all the extra kit. You can see just how rough those curves are as you come through there. It really does bounce the car about something awful. Back towards the Agostini hairpin though. Good picking up this midfield battle. James Blake Baldwin still away at the front, all on his own. Tom Roach some 3.5 seconds off the back of him just now at this midpoint of the race. Clements has a little bit of turning over. The camera just changed at the wrong point for us here, to tell you the truth. William Phillips also right behind him, and behind William Phillips we've got the hard charging Blackwell Chambers as he comes through and decides not to run wide. Good stuff as to get the big draft down the back straight, down the Bentley straight once again. This is so important. Get yourself a good exit from that corner and power down the straight towards Rundles. corner where you're down changing, you're picking all the way around it. We've seen a few guys make a few mistakes there. Ed Gay, one of the guys getting caught out when he had side-to-side contact on the way in, but we also saw Brett Smith just get completely carried away with himself and overshoot the whole grass here. But still Hufford from Clements, from number 17 William Phillips, the white car with the red bits on it, and possibly several bits of black tyre marking as well. Just off the back of him, Will Blackwell Chambers. So around Coram we come, following Gary Hufford, keeping our eyes on this car in this battle.
Big white stripe down the middle of it.
And the centre straight we go to click off another lap here. Bit of defending at the front of the row. Is that a position change actually? That is a position change, yeah. The blue car with the big white stripes down the front of it, that is a position change because Simon Baldwin's got through and there's been a coming together. There's a big NASCAR donut on the side of Dunstan's car, and unfortunately it looked like Sam Smith was involved in that as well, but away he goes from the scene of the crime. We've gone back on board now, we've jumped ship pretty quickly to Ed Gay, and yeah, there has been a position change at the Simon Baldwin has got Brett Smith, so Brett Smith has been caught. Didn't think that was going to happen, and this whole pack is charged up towards the back of him now. Henderson's now having a look at Brett Smith. Alan Henderson looking one way, then dives back the other way. Can he go round the outside of Brett Smith? Surely Brett Smith is not going to let that happen. He's going to show Henderson the edge of the track, and he does. Alex Preston trying to peer round Simon Goddard's car to see exactly what's happening ahead of him. But no, at Hamilton's, Brett Smith takes the position back from Henderson. Is Henderson going to have a shot into Oggies? Round the outside, you have to think, no, a bit of blue smoke coming at the back of Brett Smith's car now. He's going to possibly be a sitting duck by the time they come onto the Bentley straight here. But already Henderson's passed before that. The camera perfectly changes and we pick up with Alan Henderson going past. There was that a plan for Brett Smith to get a slipstream down the straight, and it's also Simon Goddard right up the back. So Brett Smith slipstreaming Alan Henderson. Are we going to see him popping out towards the left hand side of the circuit here? No, he doesn't actually. That Henderson car must be pretty quick in a straight line if it manages to hold off all those other MX-5s. Guys were just biding their time. Oh, hard acceleration out there. It actually sounds like Simon Baldwin has possibly got a broken exhaust in that car at the head there. The blue number 48 car is very, very loud, and it does sound in the background like he's got a broken, maybe a cracked exhaust. Is that giving him a little bit more power? That's an interesting way to look at it. But through we come here, through Murray's Corner. Again in the background you can hear that very noisy car, and he's being chased by Henderson, Smith, Goddard, Preston and Gay up the straight. The marshals relaxing in the pit lane right now at Snetterton, while the MX-5's absolutely no time to relax on track. Simon Baldwin flies through a shot there, and he really has been a bit of a star in this second race. He has fought his way all the way through the pack and got up into the final podium spot. Let's not forget, guys, that James Blake Baldwin is gone at the front. He's now increased his lead to 4 seconds, and he's controlling that quite easily. Tom Roach in the Blendini Motorsport car number 1 is in second place. And that third place car, as we just said, is Simon Baldwin. We're on board with Preston here, and Preston just hovering about the edges of the last podium stead. And he's been there at every single round, so a very, very consistent, hard, young charger is Alex Preston. Through Agostini's they go. Simon Goddard should be quite happy with this run that he's had as well. And we're hearing of a penalty for driving standards and track limits, also to 6-3, car number 63 getting a penalty. And that's Rhys Jenkins. So Rhys Jenkins picks up a penalty, and also car 88. That's JJ Clements, Jonathan JJ Clements picking up a penalty. So 5-second penalty and a 4-second penalty respectively to Jenkins. That's going to hurt him, a 5-second penalty. That's coming up the bottom of our timing screen, so not good for those two guys. As we watch them powering their way down the Bentley straight, and Alan Henderson's actually managed to break the slipstream from Brett Smith, who's behind them in 5th place just now. So Henderson has managed to fight them off. And is Henderson having a bit of a charge back up towards Simon Baldwin now in the number 48 car? He's broken free from that group, as you see Ed Gay sideways over the exit curve into a bit of the grass there. Through the bomb hole they go on towards Coram a bit loose mid-corner. As it starts to get ever so light, then you've got to try and get on the brakes while you're still turning. Down the gears, then back to the inside. Watch the sausage curb on the inside. You hit that, that's going to make you run wide. You're going to kill your momentum up this straight, and this straight is up a hill. It's up a long, long incline as well, and if you lose momentum on the way in towards it, it's going to hurt you all the way up past the very famous phone box opposite the pits here at Snetterton. The red phone box stands alone there. Through the first corner we come though. You can listen to the little MX-5 absolutely flying as they go through there. And Alex Preston just seeing this battle unfold in front of him. And he makes a move on the inside, does it? Well, no, he thinks about it. It homes into the back of Simon Goddard there, but he doesn't actually go through. Goddard, meanwhile, wants Brett Smith. I don't think you need to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. Goddard can see a place in front of him, and he's close enough to maybe put in a battle, and he's very quick as well. Quickest lap of the race. And that's actually James Blake Baldwin again. A 1 minute 23 flat, 1 minute 23.000, and he done that on lap 7, so that was just there just now. Cracking lap from James Blake Baldwin, and he has been the class of the field at Snetterton. He really has. He's been showing these guys the way around, and well, great timing, Duncan. We pick up with him now. Here he comes down the Bentley straight. Can we give him any more credits, really? He's fought off the defending champion of Tom Roach in the Blendini Motorsport car. He's had no slipstream from anybody, and he's kept his nose absolutely clean, as has Tom Roach actually. Tom's not that far behind. The gap has stayed consistent at 4 seconds now. And Tom Roach has had no slipstream, and he's just plugged away, keeping his nose very clear. And you can see that's how you're meant to do it, guys. They're not running too hot into the corners, they're not running wide on the exit, they're just keeping the car nice and neat, not overdriving the car. He goes through the bomb hole and heads on towards Coram. And Tom Roach, another fine example of how to drive an MX-5. He's happy with the Blendini Motorsport car, he's happy with the tweaks and the setup changes that were done to his car for him from practice and qualifying through to the first race. They've been good tweaks, but they haven't been good enough, because this man here, James Blake Baldwin, accelerates up once again, passing the pit crew, and he is going to make it a double here at Snetterton, and he wins the second race. Second place for Tom Roach, and who is going to get the last step on the podium as everybody heads up towards it? Brett Smith is holding off Goddard and Preston, but ahead of them is going to be Simon Baldwin there. Simon Baldwin, both hands off the steering wheel, delighted with that one. Punches the air in the number 48 car, and a well-deserved third place for Simon Baldwin. Possibly had to fight harder than anybody to get onto the podium. But there is your winner. It's James Blake Baldwin, and he takes his slow down lap, his cool down lap, and waves to the marshals. The marshals appreciating a good race victory there. So the results sees James Blake Baldwin from Tom Roach and Simon Baldwin. Alan Henderson, Brett Smith and Simon Goddard, with Preston, Gay, Charman and Rhys Jenkins, even though he got a penalty, coming home in 10th place.